Focus Plumbing, always at your fingertips.
If the military had dog tags like this, we'd never have to reinstate the draft. It's Trigon time.
Danny Vegas time, Danny Vegas World segment 2
Peace.
of the Danny Vegas Live Show.
The voice just...
You know, I can't listen to myself. I'm like, God. People come up to me and say, wow, I love that unique voice you got. And I'm like, I can't stand that damn voice. I listen to it for 5 seconds and I have to turn it off.
But that voice makes you money.
Oh, yeah, it does. Makes me $1 million a show.
There you
Okay. Okay, this is what we got going on. We want to talk about this. I put it out there last night.
Mm-hmm.
And I had this, literally this conversation a few years ago with a panel right here on the Danny Vegas Live Show. But I saw it on a show segment last night. Of course, you know, I just steal everything. So I thought, you know, maybe that's something we could talk about because I did not go to college.
Mm-hmm. Neither did I.
I
went to a trade school.
You went to a trade school?
Yeah, a vocational trade
That's right.
school.
The question is, in 2018, when the cost of college from literally 20 years ago, maybe 30 years ago, is up 200 and some odd %.
It's insane.
Is a college education worth it? Now, this is what they kind of said last night. In some instances, doctor, engineer, lawyer, you're a physicist. Certainly a college is something you need to pursue. But if you're going to study, and let's stop the emails right now, okay? Don't send me emails.
Slow your roll.
But if you're going to study Russian literature, or you know, South American botany or something. My question is it really worth the money when it's well known now that if you decide not to go to college but you take that same 4 years and learn to be a journeyman plumber, you can make $100,000 a year.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay? If you take that same 4 years and get into a good school to teach you auto repair, you can make $100,000 plus a year. That there's been such an emphasis on degrees. And my wife, guilty. Tiger Mom is guilty. She, in her mind, if you don't go to college, I mean, she's lied to her folks. She told her folks I had a degree because she was so embarrassed that I didn't have a degree. Okay? That in her mind, if you don't go to college, it's almost as a admittance of guilt. Fall on your sword. You are a loser.
Well, see, now, Dee Dee, my business partner, she and I chose not to go to college. I had a 4-year scholarship.
Right.
I chose not to use it. Now, fast forward, 15, 20 years later, had I have had that degree, I could have commanded at least $30,000 more than what they were offering me for a piece of paper.
That is true. People who have degrees in the long haul make significantly more money than ones who do not.
And see, I've been in my industry for 27 years. I've done continued education, classes. I'm constantly educating myself, but that doesn't, on paper, give me that degree they're looking for. Whereas I have the professional experience that piece of paper will not give you. But my business partner's like her daughter, if you don't go to college, you don't have an inheritance. Period. End of story. You don't go to college, get out of the house.
Isn't that interesting? Because, and I also come from, listen, I try to tell my kids, listen, do you want to be literally, what's the word, sentenced to a $14 an hour life? Do you want to be like your father, who has literally struggled at a $10 an hour job level his whole life? Because I never really took the time to learn a trade. I've been an entrepreneur, blah, blah, blah. do you want to go down that road? Because that's what's waiting for you.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to learn. You have to have a skill set to become successful. You have to have an end game. Where do you see yourself, and what is it going to take to get there? Like with me, I started 27 years ago in the industry at $7.95 a haircut,
Right.
and then you had a $2 off coupon.
$5.
But I chose to better myself by continuing my education,
Right.
going back to technical schools, which again didn't give me an associate's or a bachelor's, but it gave me technical training
Right.
with certifications of classes. But still, in a business world, going for a management position, I didn't have a business degree. I didn't have an
Right.
associate's or a bachelor's. But I knew my numbers. I knew how to do it on my own, but I didn't have a piece of paper.
And
so
that's what gets you out. Because, for example, you know, if I were to go look in the paper, marketing jobs, marketing directors,
they want that
they
degree.
want a degree. Now, let me tell you something. With my phone and what I got here, I'm on speed dial. I got SEO cats. I got billboard cats. I got anything cats. I have my own studio. I can create content. I can literally go around circles
Right.
around most marketing people in this town.
But you don't have that piece of paper.
But I don't have a degree.
Yep.
So I will never even be considered for a major marketing department
Yep.
type thing. I will never even be considered.
And the only reason I got in at the management job that I was given was because a friend of mine suggested me for a position, and then they headhunted me, and we had some lunches and chatted, and they chose to take a chance on me, which thankfully they did, because then it did catapult my career in a whole nother direction. But again, they couldn't give me the salary
Right.
because I didn't have the degree.
So I guess to get back to the question,
Yeah, you needed a college degree.
but you know, I hate to just say, you know deep down in your heart, say you have a kid, it's like, you know what, that kid hated school, hated high school, literally had to drag him or her to get the homework done. It was like just a pain. C pluses, maybe a B. And now I'm going to spend $12,000 a year to take that kid who I couldn't get to do homework when they had to go to school. Now they have the freedom not to go to class if they don't, because the professor don't care.
They don't care.
And now I'm going to spend $12,000 a year so that my kid could have the same attitude they had in
Right.
high school, because the attitude ain't changing.
It's not changing. If they don't
Maybe-
want to go, they don't want to
Maybe
go.
for about 3 weeks they'll be all charged up. Oh, I'm in college, this is great. But I can guarantee you the first midterm they fail, it's over. So do you force a kid that you know is just not into school? Do you force them down that road? It's a hard question, because, you know, my wife and I have about enough money to get one through college, maybe 1.5. Baby Vegas, you better start playing some soccer, baby, because you
There
have
are
to-
so many scholarships out there.
There is a lot.
though.
We've discovered that. There's a lot
There's
out
a
there.
ton out there.
But that's the question of the day. And you'll see this all over the internet going forward over the weekend. Is a college education totally necessary? Like we said, in some fields we think it
Even
is.
just an associate's, just get 2 years in. Just go 2 years.
You know, and the next thing, the big push in government's going to be to do free junior college, which I don't know. It sounds great, but the reason why a high school diploma is not worth anything anymore, because everybody got one. Now, if it's like everybody got an associate's, what does that mean? Nothing. It was free. So I don't know about that, but I'm just saying it's a discussion I had 2 years ago. It's the same thing now. I don't really know, because I know if one of my kids don't go to college, I can go to Tahiti. So
Well, see, and I have 2 children, and my son, who was straight A, honor roll, graduated with honors, he chose not to go to college. Now he's 27, thinking, well, maybe he should have gone. He still has time.
Right.
Then my daughter, same thing, good grades, honor
Right.
roll, etc. She chose to go to college. She went away to college, but it was too overwhelming. It was too much freedom, I guess, responsibility. You know, even though we were helping her, so she did 2 years, but she didn't complete 2 years. So
Right.
she's short a few credits. So she chose to come home, regroup, and then she'll make up her, what I think she has like three or four credits to make up. But she wanted to go,
right.
but mentally and emotionally, she wasn't ready to go.
And that's another thing, because
It's-
I will tell you, Andy, if you for some reason leave college and then I'm just going to take a year off, you know what, the chance of you getting back in
That's-
and getting fired back up into that mindset is not good.
It's not. Well, and two, if you choose to take that time off, you have to start paying the
Right.
loans back.
Oh, yeah.
So that reality hit her, a few months after, like, oh, I have to pay this money back, whereas she wouldn't have had to until she got her degree.
Hey, Ty,
So-
thank you very much for checking in. I guess I'm going to come down here. We only got 20 seconds left. I think you got to go.
Yeah.
You got to go. Even if you go and you decide a year later it's not for me, because it may be for, I guarantee you, man, that before you know it, you'll be 23 years old. You'll be out of high school longer than you were in high school. Before you know it, you'll
Get
be
your
27,
education.
and you'll be like, oh my God, I've been out of high school 10 years.
Yeah.
It happens so fast.
Get your
okay,
education.
I got another subject. After this, we're going to talk about our American men declining in America on segment 3 with Andine Rose. We'll be back.